channel. Let's get into the 1986 New York Football Giants. It's the 40th anniversary of that great team. It's a team that was going through a great movement in the right direction with Coach Parcells, who became the head coach in 1983. In 84, everything changed. Once 84 came around, they lost to the 49ers. They beat the Rams in the first round, then they lost to the 49ers, who won Super Bowl 19. But they were moving in the right direction. They was moving in the right direction. You had, 1985 comes around. They beat the 49ers in 85 at home at Giant Stadium, but they lose the eventual Super Bowl champion, Chicago Bears. So the last 2 years during that time, they had lost two champions of the Super Bowl 2 years in a row. So the 86 had to be the year that the Giants had to get it done. They did get it done. They was able to get it done, and they was able to win a championship. It had been a long time coming, but they was able to do it. They were dominant. They had a 14-2 season. They outscored their opponents by a combined score of 105 to 23. They defeated the Broncos of Denver, led by John Elway, Dan Reeves, and those guys, 39-20 in Super Bowl 21, playing their first Super Bowl title of 14-2, won division. Total point differential was plus 135 in regular season. They scored 371 points allowed, 236 allowed. They had a very punishing defense, very efficient offense, and obviously Lawrence Taylor had a great season. Um, had an MVP winning season, won the league MVP, and he had led the league in sacks with 20 and a half sacks. The NFL MVP still, only two guys that won the MVP from the defensive side of the ball is Alan Page and Lawrence Taylor. It may not happen again, you know what I'm saying? So 40 years since it's been a last defensive player won the MVP award. That's how great those teams, that great Lawrence Taylor was, because you talking about an era where you had Joe Montana, Dan Marino, John Elway, the balls being thrown around all over the place. There was a lot of passing going on, and he was able to still win the MVP despite what was going on with the quarterbacks and receivers. He was also the defensive player of the year. Philip Sims made the best Super Bowl performance ever, 22 out of 25, completing 88% of his passes, 3 touchdowns, 268 yards. I think he threw one to Mark Bavaro, Phil McConkey, I think Zeke Moa scored the 3 touchdowns in. Joe Morris ran for 1,516 yards, 14 touchdowns in the regular season. They had the Big Blue Wrecking Crew. That was a nickname given to the Giants by a young Bill Belichick, led by Harry Carlson, Carl Banks, and Jim Burke. They dominated the 49ers 49-3 divisional round, and then shot out the Redskins 17-0 in the windy Giant Stadium. They overcame a 10-9 deficit and by scoring 30 second half points to seal the victory. And that's how great that Giant teams was. The team was on a verge of greatness due to what they was dealing with, what they was trying to get towards rather. Just to establish the Giants as a formidable team, a franchise again. So 40 years ago, that's very important. The greatness of that team, how dominant they were, how great they were. I'm saying a lot of great memories from that team. You look at that team, the things that they did, a lot of great highlights from that season. Gets no better than that. First example, let's look at October 27th, where the Giants defeated the Washington Redskins at the time on Monday Night Football. At the same time, the Mets won the World Series in Game 7. That was played at the same time. Morris had 31 carries for 181 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 5 receptions for 59 yards. That's one of the highlights of that time. Then November 16th, the 4th and 17th play, Phil Simms and Bobby Johnson hooked up on a 22-yard play as Raul Alegre made a field goal to beat the Vikings 22-20. Then George Martin intercepted a pass from John Elway. Obviously, they will eventually meet in the Super Bowl in January 25th. November 23rd, he intercepts a pass over 78 yards. Will Elway makes a 34-yard field goal, 6 seconds left to give the Giants a 1916 win. Then December 1st, the highlight of that season, you make a case, was Mark Bavaro carrying defenders on a 10-yard curl from Phil Simms as the Giants was losing 17-0. Turnaround began the second play of the third quarter, and he carried about 649ers as he kept his legs trembling. Then the following week, Sunday, on December 7th, battle for first place in the NFC East was on the line. Giants won 24-14. Jay Schrader was sacked 4 times, intercepted 6 times. 3 times Taylor sacked him. And Lawrence Taylor said, I believe we're destined to do something great. And he was absolutely right about that. And he crushed the Green Bay Packers 55-24, the season finale. Then January 4th, it blew out the 49ers, obviously Jim Burke knocking out Phil Simms, knocking out Joe Montana, excuse me. Then the championship game, they won 17-8, 17-0, winning Giants Stadium. And then comes Super Bowl 21. Giants win 39-20 at Pasadena, California. Those are some of the memorable historical moments of that season in '86, the 40th anniversary of Giants football. You know what I'm saying? Just a dominant team. Coached by Bill Parcells, obviously. Definitely one of the greatest teams ever. I mean, even on its 100th anniversary of the NFL, the Giants were ranked 12th on the 100 greatest teams of all time, represented by the NFL on its 100th anniversary. So this team was a great team. Unique team. They didn't have no big name wide receivers. Phil McConkey, Lionel Manuel, guys like that, Bobby Johnson, but they were just a unique team. They had a punchy running game, strong offensive line, and a great defense that was opportunistic, punishable. They just knew how to get it done. That's what kind of team they were at that time. The tough guy in Mark Bavaro, they had everything. Phil Simms, they were so good. And I think that's what made them great. But Lawrence Taylor was the guy that made it happen. So I don't know what to say. That Giant defense was great. A great team. The all-time greats. So that's basically it, man. Also, they had the Gary Ray shower. They made that popular. The Gary Ray shower originated when Jim Burke insisted about what he thought was mistreatment received during practice. James Bill Parcells by dumping a cooler of Gatorade on him. So Lawrence Taylor and Harry Carson picked up the ploy to sneak up on Parcells and douse Parcells with Gatorade. So it all started with them. That situation. Seems like that's what they made popular. Maybe somebody else did it before them, but it is what it is. That was one of the great teams of all time. And that's it, man. I was looking at that team. Lawrence Taylor was dominant. NFL Defensive Player of the Year, AP, NEA, UPI, NFC Defensive Player of the Year, NFC Defensive Player of the Year, MVP, Burt Bell Award. Coach of the Year was Parcells, MVP, Lawrence Taylor. So this is rare for a defensive player to win the award. Only 2 guys on the defensive end won it. Again, that was Alan Page and Lawrence Taylor. Which is rare, man. Only 2 players have done it since. I don't think that's ever gonna happen again. But that's it for a look at the New York Giants of 1986. They won the first Super Bowl, and they have what, 4 Super Bowls and 4 NFL championships. Total 8 championships. Because remember, the Super Bowl didn't start till the mid '60s, so before that, you had the NFL championship. So the Giants got 8 championships. So Giants as a franchise take back no backseat to nobody because they're a great franchise. Even though they haven't been relevant in a long time, we'll see what happens. But right now, it's all about the Giants Phase 6. That's why I want to do this video. This upcoming season will mark the 40th anniversary of the Giants' first Super Bowl. And I want to get into that. Team that franchise won, getting 8 NFL championships. 8 league championships. That's impressive. So that's it for today. I'm not done yet. I'll be back at 5 o'clock. I'll be doing a video on the Bulls and the Pistons, 1991 Eastern Conference Finals. The Bulls finally get past their nemesis in the sweep. We're going to look back at that 35 years later. Finally, Michael Jordan gets the Bulls to the NBA Finals. So until then, subscribe, like the channel, hit the like button when you get a chance to check out the video. Till then, talk to you soon.